Well, we're here with former All-Ireland winner with Meath, Bernard Flynn. Bernard, the championship just around the corner. Let's start with your own county, Meath, a somewhat mixed league campaign.
Yeah, one more poor really. I think it was rectified a little bit with a very good draw against Tyrone at the last game of the season to stay up. So we'll get great heart from that. Getting a few players back now will be a big help, and refocus. Just need to get defenders, defensive systems that allows us to go forward with, say, good midfield, reasonable midfield, and a good forward line. But I think we've it all to do. But I do think after last year in the Leinster Championship, maybe the way it happened against Louth, the Meath players I think are going to be really up for the Championship this year after having a poor league. But they've no choice to have to.
Why was it such a poor league campaign? Was it because of the injuries, or was it because of kind of a hangover from the Leinster Championship, or was it a mixture of both? I mean, they went under and went through some extraordinary mental stress last summer that no players or no group of lads should have to put up with.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think you're right. Winning a Leinster title, you shouldn't be really getting the stick that they got. The players themselves didn't really deserve, if you like. What I would say is that I do think 3 points out of 14 in the National League was not good enough for them in Division 2. They'll accept that themselves. We had a good few injuries, and I do think there was a fallout. And the new management, a whole new management set up, high profile, Banty McEneely there coming in. That probably didn't help things initially in the earlier stages, because from the off they were under pressure to win every game. When they didn't win a game, it was analysed and dissected what was wrong, why were the reasons. So there was a lot of pressure from all angles after the Leinster Champion last year what happened. And if you look against Kildare, you could really see it. We were hammered against Kildare by 8 points, I think, in the Leinster and the quarter-final of the All-Ireland, and you could really see at that stage it had set in at that stage.
Have Meath made any progression during the league, or have they fallen behind, do you think, or again, is it hard to tell?
The one thing about Meath is, Kildare beat Wicklow, we're going to play Kildare, we're always well able to put up with Kildare.
Because you're a championship team, aren't you?
Yeah, we are Leinster champions, whether people like it or not. So, Kildare or not, they haven't won anything on the McGeaney yet, if you like. So, I think, Kildare will have it all to do, and if you ask me as a betting man now, I would back Meath to beat Kildare. And I do think you'll see a really good attitude from the Meath players this coming championship. One thing I don't think they'll lack this year, particularly Liam Harnan and McEneely there, will be heart. I don't think they will, but we just need to tighten up in our back line and be a little bit more, get a little bit more pace about our team throughout the field.
And what about the neighbours? Dublin, a relatively good league campaign that ended in defeat to Cork. Again, maybe they shot themselves in the foot. Is that a worry going into the championship?
Yeah, I think the big question now is, do Dublin really go hell for leather to win the Leinster Championship? If they won the league, I'm convinced they would say maybe take it a little bit easier in Leinster, and that there's 2 championships for Dublin now, the Leinster and the All-Ireland Championship. There is 2 different championships, but the reason being is I think they have no choice but to give the Leinster Championship a real cut this year. They have to go for it, and I think if they lost, let's say, under similar circumstances like happened against Cork, with questions being asked, the confidence levels will go. I think confidence levels are a little bit lower than that we're led to believe from the likes of Pat Gilroy and the management team. So Dublin have it all to do. Yes, they're probably the favourites for the Leinster Championship. Yes, they're getting closer and closer. Have they got what it takes to win the All-Ireland? I think they're a little bit short still, mentally, and I think up front, that's where the 2 key issues for me.
Are Cork still the team to beat, or is it a case of them needing to up their levels of performance? Because many people said that last year they fell over the line.
I think Cork will be better this year. I think the confidence and what it's done for morale, the way they beat Dublin. They weren't as fit as Dublin, hadn't as much training done as Dublin. So to win it in the manner they did and score was 19 points, whatever, I thought it was a fantastic second half performance. Cork will be better. They're the team to beat for me, and I think it's Cork's to lose. Kerry won't be far away either, and Tyrone might, there's a kick in Tyrone. Whether they win it or not, I don't think so. Cork for me, Kerry second, and Dublin. That's the 3, 1, 2, 3, the order I'd have it in.
What about Down?
That's down or up there. I think their defence, unless they make radical changes in, let's say, the psyche of the defender, they foul too much, they're not acute enough, and they're a little bit porous. But if they can get that sorted and get Rodgers back at midfield, the down forward line are a serious threat for anybody. Whether they can better last year's performance means winning All-Ireland, I'm not so sure, but they probably might tip for Ulster, but not to win the All-Ireland.
We're talking at the start of May. Is it a pity that the real championship won't start until July?
It is, in the earlier round you're just hoping that people will go and there won't be empty seats, too many empty seats at the earlier rounds of the championship. It's a worry I would have, I must say, and there's not too many cracking early round draws, we have to admit, so it's probably going to be the middle of June to the end of June before it really kicks in. But that's no disrespect to the players and management that have trained so hard over the last number of months, and the sad part is for me, and I think this is where this year's championship will have a big difference, is that, you know, how many of these players will be there for the backdoor system if they're beaten in the first round? With the weaker teams or the, let's say, the middle road teams, will their good players be gone abroad, get some work, America, London, Australia? That's the big worry I'd have, and many will be there when the backdoor round robin series starts, and I think that's a big problem going forward.
Well, the championship is just around the corner, and our thanks to former Meath footballer Bernard Flynn. Remember, you'll be able to hear the championship live on Newstalk.